What it do, baby? We on my bed today, so that's how you know we're having a deep chat today. Today I'm gonna change up the pace a bit, go for a bit of a slower video, a bit more calm, a bit more talky. Today we'll be discussing perfectionism. I'm gonna talk about perfectionism whilst painting my face, something I've never done. I used to get my face painted as a kid in parties, but like I've never painted my face before by myself, and I was like, I want to paint my face. Trick thing is, I don't have face paints, I have poster paints, but that can go on your skin, right? I also have my little mirror here. I don't really have any plan of like what I'm going to paint on my face. I'm just going to go for it and hope that it doesn't look crazy. Okay, so let's just get... Fuck, where's my paintbrush? Here we are. First, let's just begin by defining things. So, what is perfectionism? Perfectionism in psychology is a broad personality style characterized by a person's concern with striving for flawlessness and perfection. It is accompanied by critical self-evaluations and concerns regarding others' evaluations. Oh gosh, do I know that meaning all too well. Okay, so now that we have the definition of perfectionism, let's go through common traits you would see in a perfectionist. First being, you are hypercritical. Not only hypercritical of yourself, but hypercritical of everyone around you. Being a perfectionist means that you have impossibly high standards. Basically, nothing's ever enough. Even when, by the off chance that you do meet your crazy high standard, you'd be like, okay, but that could have been done better, like this and that and that. Also, you're never satisfied, so that's why you're always hypercritical. You're always looking on how you can make things better. So being hypercritical is a big part of being a perfectionist. Next part about being a perfectionist. Look at that little pink flower. When you're a perfectionist, you are not motivated by the drive to succeed, but you are instead motivated by your fear of failure. This is a big one because I feel like this is a major defining feature because people tend to get overachievers or high achievers and perfectionists confused, and this is like a big difference between the overachiever and the perfectionist, because overachievers or high achievers, when they're faced with failure, they tend to take it on the chin. They're very easygoing about it. They learn from their mistakes and see how they can do better and how they can improve on said issues. Basically, they take the failure as a lesson. But switch this on to a perfectionist, who failure is often followed by spiraling of overthinking, crushing feelings of disappointment, and constantly just self-evaluation. Why did I fail? Why did I do this? But you're not looking at it in a way that how could I have made this better, but in a way of how could I have made this mistake, and you're fixated on the mistake and you can't move past the mistake or the failure that you were encountering. And that's a big difference between high achievers and perfectionists. And people tend to think that, oh, I'm a perfectionist, oh, so you're good at everything. I'm like, no, I'm not good at everything, but I want to be good at everything. And if I'm not good at everything, I'm gonna lose my mind. Which brings us perfectly on to the next one. Next traits that perfectionists have is you expect to be brilliant at everything that you do, even if it's the first time that you're doing it. Since you have these high standards, you carry these high standards into everything you do, even when you're trying something for the first time. And for me personally, I've experienced this stops me from trying new things or things that I don't think I'm going to be good at, or things that I even had potential in doing. For example, art and painting. I used to love painting when I was younger. I did it all the time, but as I grew older and my perfectionism kicked in, I stopped painting, I stopped doodling, I stopped doing all these things that I used to enjoy because my standard for what I considered to be good art got higher, and I wasn't meeting the standard that I wanted to achieve, and that hurt my ego. So I stopped doing it because I wasn't good at it. Or even trying to play instruments. Like I tried to play the keyboard. I'd mess up the fingering once or twice and I'm like, okay, I can't do this. I'm not going to do this anymore because I'm not good at it. Even though you get good at things through practicing, and that's how you build skill, through consistent practicing and trial and error. But to a perfectionist, in my head, if I'm not good at it, then why am I doing it? But you don't realize that you have to do it to be good at it. Another trait that comes with being a perfectionist that I don't hear being talked about a lot is you tend to procrastinate things. And this isn't procrastinating in the way that you're putting work off, but I made it too big. I don't like it, but we're tackling perfectionism in this video, so I'm going to let it go. Being a perfectionist comes with lots of procrastination. Not procrastinating doing things, but actually submitting them. You tend to put off submitting work or presenting work because you want to work on it as much as you can until you feel satisfied. So you want to keep on trying to see how I can better this. And this is a big thing for me, especially with essays. I will keep working on an essay until the last possible minute, like until the last second of the deadline. Like it's 11:59, the deadline's at 12, and then I will submit it, only because I have to, not because I want to or I feel like it's ready to be submitted, but I will keep working at it until I think I'm satisfied. Which, trick question, perfectionists are never satisfied, so I would probably work on it indefinitely. Next thing that perfectionists often have is you think success equates to happiness. You think when you finally get that goal that you have been working so hard to get, you will finally be happy. But the trick part about being a perfectionist is you have high standards inherently. So when you reach the goal, you're immediately on to the next goal, and immediately on to the next, and to the next, on to the next. So you never really enjoy or get to satiate or bask in the glory of what you've achieved. So you're constantly trying to succeed as much as possible because you think that'll finally make you happy and that'll finally be enough. But it's never enough because you're always striving for the next best thing. So it puts you in this awful loop where you want to succeed to be happy, but succeeding doesn't make you happy. It's like, what do I do now? Another thing that perfectionists do is we're very particular. It's always my way or the highway, because since you have these high standards, you think that you know better. And anyone else who questions that is going against your high standard, and it's like, why do you think you know better when I know better? Because I know what perfection is and I want to achieve it, and you're coming here with your other ideas of what you want to do and how you want to carry out this thing, but I already have a vision and you're messing with the vision. And we're super protective about like our vision and how we want things to go. So yeah, perfectionists are very much my way or the highway type of people. I think I've just slowly lost the ability to learn how to paint a flower because I had it down. But painting your own face is such a weird concept. I wonder how I can go in with the detail work, because I just realized I don't have brushes small enough for that. So we've gone through all the traits of a perfectionist. I'm gonna go on a quick side tangent and talk about the perception of perfectionists in society and what most people think a perfectionist is. I had touched on this previously before when I did say a lot of people tend to confuse high achievers with perfectionists, and I stated why those are not the same things. But it really annoys me so much when people are asked, what's a character flaw of yours? And like, oh my god, I'm just such a perfectionist. I just want everything perfect. It's such a bad thing about me. And it's like, really? Because there's so many other parts that come with being a perfectionist. It's like, it's not just wanting things perfect. It's everything else that I've discussed previously, and I'm sure more. Behaving in this way or thinking in this way limits you so much from trying different things, and that's a major part of why I started this channel, is because I just want to try out new things and not overthink it. Even though I still do, I try not to. I'm trying to minimize it, and I'm trying to try out new things I would never have done, because like painting, like I said, I used to love painting. I haven't painted in almost a year, and before I picked up a paintbrush a year ago, I hadn't painted in almost 2 years, and it's such a shame because it's something I really love doing. But I'll see my work and I'm like, nah, that's not it. I don't like that, and then I'll never do it again. I keep coming back to it because it's something I like to do, but every time I see my work, I'm like, I hate this, and I'm not gonna do it for a really long time again. Anyway, it really irks me when people say, oh my gosh, it's just such a flaw, but they mean it like in a, oh look at me, I'm a perfectionist. That's a good thing about me because I just want everything perfect. It's like, yeah, it is a flaw. Why are you acting like it's not? It's not like a secret good thing about you. Anyway, now that we've discussed perfectionism, its traits, and my irritations with perfectionism, let's get on to the problem solving. How do you stop being a perfectionist, or at least reduce your perfectionist tendencies? How? I'm genuinely asking. I don't know. If you know, please tell me down below. How do we stop being perfectionists? First thing is acknowledging when you're doing it. Whew. Self-awareness is one hell of a drug, but it's absolutely necessary. When you're a perfectionist, you have to realize and acknowledge that not everything is going to go your way. Not everything is going to be at the standard that you need it to be at, and that's okay. The world isn't going to crumble and fall apart just because you didn't do something exactly how you needed it to happen. But an important part about acknowledging is you have to make sure when you're acknowledging yourself, you're not beating yourself down. You have to do it in a positive and validating way. Yes, I understand that I want this to go like this, but circumstances may not always allow for said thing to go exactly my way or how I need it to go, and that's okay. I'm slightly upset about it, but I'm not gonna let it completely rule my life, and I'm going to internalize it and let it go. Loud ass plane goes in the background. Like, come on, I feel like they're just resonating with what I'm talking about. The next part about managing your perfectionism is watching yourself talk. How you speak to yourself in your head is such a big thing, and I've never realized it. My head, this girl in here, this one, she's mean. She's really mean, and she's like completely out of pocket. She just says rude stuff, unprovoked. I'll just be chilling. Horrible thing comes into my head about me or someone else. I'm like, why would you say that? Why would you think something like that? Anyway, self-talk is so important when it comes to managing and toning down your perfectionism. It's important to let yourself know that this is okay. I'm doing my best, I'm trying my hardest, and you know when those thoughts come into your head like this isn't good enough, you should change this, you should do this. When those thoughts come into your head, I honestly don't know where this painting is going, but I do be vibing. This is fun. I just realized that my background is basically my vision board and the heart from my Valentine's Day video. That just goes to show that A, I'm a hoarder, and B, that you should go watch those videos. Go watch them. Go watch them now after this one. Oh, is this spoilers for the look? Doesn't matter, just back to regular programming. What kind of star is that? Why can't I draw a straight line? What is... Okay, no. We just talked about self-talk, Imani. Oops, that was a mistake. But as Bob Ross said, there's no such thing as mistakes, but only happy accidents. Yeah, okay, that's it. I'm not working on it anymore. Well, not me showing my perfectionism acting up in a video where I'm talking about how you shouldn't be a perfectionist. In conclusion, obviously perfectionism isn't an easy problem to solve, and I know that it takes years of hard work and self-awareness and sometimes even therapy and just like trying to figure out the root issue or the cause of this perfectionism, which I'm sure there might be many. It is hard work, but it's not impossible, and like most things, it starts with the small steps and doing small things to combat this. My lips are dry. I want some lip gloss. I'm getting lip gloss. Lip gloss. I truly have a lip gloss obsession, but I'm not even mad about it because it's cute! She's beauty, she's grace, she's a girl who decided to paint her face. I slapped on some eyeshadow so I don't look like completely wild. I feel like it makes it look a bit less insane. But with that, we have reached the end of the video. This has been a bit of a slower one, a bit more talky, but I just had thoughts. Thoughts were being thunk, and I had to share it on. I had to let my thoughts be known, and I hope that my thoughts at least helped someone feel okay with their thoughts. English. Anyway, if you resonated with anything in this video, make sure to like the video. Comment down below anything you thought, whether you resonated with these feelings, whether you know someone who acts this way. If you know someone who acts this way, share this video with them. Be like, yo, is this you? I'd love to hear from you in the comments also if you have these thoughts yourself and what you do to try and combat them. Make sure to subscribe to see more of my lovely face. I'm here every week. I try and upload twice a week, so you will be seeing my face if you subscribe, which is such a bonus because I'm giving you this for free. It's free, just do it. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye!
It's 5:50 something and I feel so empty inside.